Hey guys, good morning. It's gonna be an awesome day today. Okay, we got breakfast. Seatbelts are just a lot of trouble. It could save your life. It's like it brings back the whole Smokey commercial about forest fires. Only I could start a forest fire. Now, when you say only I can start a forest fire, I start thinking, okay, I'm not the only one that can do that. I don't know why you brought that up. Yes, that's what we're gonna do today, is some of that. I had to break out the old school marker for you. You guys should feel special. It took me about 2 hours to find that thing. So this is some stuff that actually I learned from my dad a long time ago when he was fishing tour. And I wanna kind of give it off to you guys. So let's go flipping it. Let's go have some fun, okay guys? You're gonna need a jig and you're gonna need a rod, obviously. Don't worry about putting a whole lot of line on your rod and your reel. Just get an old jig, something you don't mind messing up, and we're gonna learn how to flip. We're gonna get you in those exact spots, the money spots, the strike zones where you wanna be to catch those monster bass. All that coming up. Here we go. Fuel first. Check this out. Got it. All right, go for it. I'm going for it.
Get me on no video turning.
Huh?
Get me on video turning.
Well, we're just getting rid of a hard drive here. Oh. What are you hammering on? Is that a hard drive?
Nope.
No.
Didn't do it.
Gosh, hammer that thing. It's getting the best of you. You gotta tear it up more than that. Unless they want to find the 33,000 emails. Well, you saw it. Hillary in the act. We gotta put a new jig on. This one was the one that I used for the picture. It looks pretty, but we need to use one that we can just run. So we gotta find another jig. Need another jig. Remember, one that's sort of messed up. I have one that's not messed up. But my dad does, so we can go steal his. Jig, 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 jig. Got the jig. Tie it on. Oh yeah, I just whipped out those big toenail clippers. Jig, rod. Ruin everything. Sweet, let's go. All right, guys, I'm gonna preface this by saying that it's not gonna be a full-on I know everything flipping video, okay? It's just gonna be some stuff that my dad taught me. We're gonna use the chesty. I don't know everything about flipping, but I am pretty good, and that's what I am known as a shallow water fisherman, and I like to flip. My dad won a lot of money on flipping, okay? Now, again, you'll need your jig. This one's gonna get messed up, so remember we talked about that. Also, try to use some braided line. Also, the second thing is you need a box. I see right ahead here, I've got a box. It doesn't matter what it is, just some kind of target that you can land in, something that you want to put in. You can use a bigger box, a smaller box. You can use some kind of an old dog food can if anybody ever uses those anymore. Rinse it out, use that. you can go right up next to, if this is a tree line right here, you know, if you can find some trees. The other thing is you want to find a spot, some kind of reference point that's going to simulate your boat. This is going to be my boat right here, so I'm not going to go past that, but I'm going to stand. This is the edge. If I were to jump over here, I'd be in the water. This is going to be my pitching point, and my boat is lined up right here with the water. It's actually a pretty cool fun fact. Right here is actually where that Metro trailer is the Bassmasters marketing headquarters. Pretty cool. All right, so there's two modes of flipping. My dad's mode, which he still uses today, is going to be the drawback, which is where you're actually going to hold the string. Our plan here is to practice and to be able to hit this box every single time, okay? And this mode of pitching, or this mode of flipping, is where we're actually going to just try to go as smooth as possible, ring our box each and every time, and try to do it as quiet as possible. We want to be able to hit this every single time. As you do that, then you can start to back up. This is my mode of flipping, okay? And let me tell you why flipping is so cool, is because right now, because of the awesome Lowrance and Humminbird and Garmin graphs out there, people are able to find these ledge fish. A lot of people like to do this because there's just numbers, and that's all good and great. And I love ledge fishing too, but there are a lot of shallow, big bass out there that are left behind as a result. And in tournaments right now, a lot of people were on ledges. I'm out in the shallows catching these flipping docks. Now maybe, here's the deal. This could be one dock right here, and there only could be one fish, and that one fish is sitting right there, right? In any event, one thing you want to remember is you want to flip and pitch from the same dominant hand, because when that thing hits the water, a lot of times that's when the bass are going to strike, and you want to be able to just go right at it. You don't want to be switching hands, because by the time it hits the water and you switch hands, you're saying OS, oh crap, and you say a bunch of cuss words and you miss the fish, right? Second thing is, if you're able to, use a longer rod, 8-foot rod. It just gives you a lot of backbone. It gives you a lot of power over the fish and allows you to get that fish out of cover super quick. Okay, so with all that said, find you a line, start from there, and this is how we're going to learn to flip. Okay, so again, one school is to draw back and flip. Now you have a little more control over this because you have control over the line. So you want to do a very silent approach each time you do it. Each time you hit the box, you want to go silent with it. Now it's not going to be too silent in this plastic box, but ideally you want to enter the water very, 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 very quiet. Now the only problem with that is, just like you saw just a second ago, line gets caught up around your reel here. You have to untie it and stuff like that. That does happen. So that's why I started flipping like this, which is where I'm pitching now. And I found the most helpful thing about pitching, one thing that I found that was most trouble, is if the line was too long like this. If you do that, then it's going to hit the water before you ever get it out there, right? So the best height that I found is down here. Reel up a little too shallow, grab the bait, pull it down, and then go to flipping, okay? And then you just hit that spot every single time. Now the point here is to practice. I'm not on a boat and I'm not out in the water, and there's a reason why I'm not out in the water and I'm not on the boat. Is because not everybody can get out on the boat, including me right now, because we're all busy. But this is something you can do at home to practice. And besides, when you get out on the water, you're ready to fish and you're ready to catch fish the way you know how. You're not ready to practice something unless you just have a lot of time on the water, and a lot of us don't have that. But this is how we're going to get better at getting those strike zones. And again, you want to be ready to just yank that fish right out of that cover. So that's the big tip. Now, as you grow better and better, you'll be able to get further away. Now, you don't want to get too far, because you're not going to be too far away from the bank unless they're just in that deep of water. And a lot of times what I like to do is find where the fish are as far as depth-wise away from the bank. I'll start furthest away. So let's say this is my line, and that's my box over there. I'll try furthest away, and I'll just pitch way over out there, and I'll see what I mean by messing the bait up. And I'll pitch, and I'll work it, and I'll work it, and I'll work it. As you can see it, I'll work it all the way into the depths till I find a strike. And so by going way up on the bank, way out from the bank like this, and working it down little by little, what you're doing is you're working different depths. You're starting from the bank and you're coming all the way down to however many feet it drops off to where your boat's positioned, right? What that does is kind of give you an idea where these fish are at, okay? The game is you want to hit that spot every time. See, we got it in the box. You can use any style you like, but the tip is to go quietly and to try and use the same hand. I practice my flipping because that's what he did the most of. And that's where he won the most money, was flipping. And now you can hear, see how quiet that got? See, now that's how you want to enter the water, very quietly. That way it ain't something kadonk in the water. It's actually something that seems like it's just swimming by that bass's head. And then you drop it right in front of them, they could strike. And when you hit them in the head with it like that, now when you hit the dock, it could scare them away, like that. And that's what you hear a lot of times. When you hit those boats or you hit those docks, you're not really meaning to, it'll scare those fish away. It really will make a kind of a weird noise that they're not used to hearing. But if you see how like quiet that was, make that thing just bare. And if you can make it quiet inside of a plastic box like this, and the reason why I say put it in a box like this, or get, you know, around this box, if you hit in the box, it's all great. The game is trying to get as close to the box as possible without making a lot of noise. Try to hit the box like that every time. And see, here's my boat, and I hit my box, okay? And now if you can hit these, the point of this is, if you can hit this box each and every time, you're gonna be able to put it in the strike zone wherever you want. And we can move over here near this dock, and see, I got it up underneath the dock right there. Now that sucker is in a prime strike position. I work it, I don't like it, okay? And move on. See, our jig head's getting messed up, so don't use a jig that you're gonna need. You can do this all day, every day. See how far underneath I got that? That's under the shade. And fish guys are just like us, you know, they get hot, they wanna get cooler. In the sun, they want to shade. So when you get out there and you start pitching, you start doing this all the time. You hit, you're scaring the fish, you're not hitting above, you're just getting frustrated. Maybe by the time the boat, if you're on the front of the boat, by the time it gets here and your front of the boat's way up there, you finally get a good pitch in, only to just keep on passing by like this and your bait's dragging the ground. It's not really being worked. The whole point of practicing this is to get it in the right place every single time, so that way you are very effective on the water with your time. This is the perfect practice method, and it'll get you where you want to be skill-wise. Practice always makes perfect, and that definitely applies here. This was just supposed to be a few pointers for you. I hope you found this useful. Please hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys on the break-in.